they nerfed Sadako. Sadako is now in a state where her power has been ultimately destroyed. In my honest opinion, she is now the weakest killer in the game. Weaker than Trapper. You might ask how, because obviously, it's a big claim. Trapper's pretty weak. Well, now Sadako's only ability, outside of playing Condemned Sadako, is to teleport to a specific TV every 100 seconds. She can teleport to as many TVs as she wants, out of the 7 she has, but then she has to wait 100 seconds before those TVs come back. She no longer has stealth. If you are curious why she no longer has stealth, it is quite simple. She can still go undetectable and hide her red stain, but hiding a red stain, let's just be honest, can be accomplished by just looking away so it doesn't exactly mean too much. Her stealth aspect of sneaking up, which a lot of killers do that are stealthy, which is a huge part of stealth. Ghostface, Pig, sneaking up and getting a nice grab is pretty nice. Or Wraith, getting a nice hit because you were a little too close and they couldn't react. That's a fundamental part of stealth. Her stealth came with a very, 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 very quiet lullaby. So quiet that your generator that you're working on, your footsteps when you're running, your healing grunts would be louder than it. So it didn't really matter. You just wouldn't hear it. However, recently behavior made it so lullabies are visible on your character. Meaning this basically silent lullaby can now be seen in full effect. So now if Sadako is using her stealth and gets close enough to you, you will know about it because you will literally visibly be told that she is near you. No more, if you're not gonna get grabbed. Like, you'd have to get grabbed by a killer that you know is there. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Now this makes us ask the question, why did Sadako even have a lullaby? We have no clue. This is a scientific question that scientists are still trying to find out. Because previously, lullabies were exclusive to killers that could not... Oh, sorry. That could damage you from afar. Like Huntress, which can throw her hatchets really far, snipe you across the map. So they want you to be aware. Oh, Huntress is near. Be aware for a snipe. Trickster, who can't snipe you from across the map, but the devs probably thought he could. And so they wanted you to be aware. Oh, Trickster is near. Deathslinger, who can snipe you from like 20 meters. So, I don't know. I don't exactly know. Trickster and Deathslinger don't really need a lullaby. But it's whatever. It's whatever. Both their lullabies are decently quiet. And again, it's not like you're being undetectable with them. You're going to hear their terror radius too. Their terror radius. And some could say that Freddy has a lullaby, being the only M1 killer to have a lullaby. But Freddy, I don't know if you would consider what Freddy has a lullaby. I won't count it, because it doesn't really, fit the criteria of a lullaby. As far as I'm aware, however, undetectable killers have never had a lullaby. Pig doesn't have one. Ghostface doesn't have one. Wraith doesn't have one. I mean, Wraith, if you're, right next to him, kissing lips with him, you'll hear, a grunt, you'll hear, that next to him. But you won't hear a 32-meter lullaby. So why Sadako? Well, some could say because Sadako doesn't make noise when demanifesting and manifesting. When Pig crouches, it doesn't make a noise. But when she uncrouches, she goes and roars. When Wraith cloaks and uncloaks, he rings his bell. When Ghostface... Oh, wait. Ghostface doesn't have a noise. Yeah, it has a little smoke effect, I guess. But it would kind of be a pretty bad design if the killer that has to stalk you had a noise. So why Sadako? Well, I guess Ghostface has a timer of about 60 seconds. So I guess that's what makes it unfair. Yeah, so you either need a noise or, a timer. Oh, wait. There's a Wraith add-on that makes it so his bell makes no more noise. And no one finds it, super OP. So, it just... So why does Sadako have a lullaby? No one knows. We in the Dead by Daylight community have been hiring NASA scientists to try to find this out, and we have gotten no avail. No avail. They've told us there's a higher chance that we'll make it to the Mars and colonize on Mars in the next 10 years, then we'll find out the answer to this. So, well, we don't know why she has a lullaby, but now her stealth is gone. On top of that, Sadako's perk, Call O'Brien, got nerfed into the ground. Behavior dug a 6-foot hole, tossed Call O'Brien into it, put cement on it, then built New York on top of it, and then nuked New York to rebuild it again. Why? Just for quick maths of how Call of Brine works. Call of Brine lets you do 20% on a generator for 60 seconds. The normal regression rate is 1/4 the generator repair rate, meaning 20% is 2/4 the repair rate, meaning if a survivor does 60 seconds on a generator, and you kick with Call of Brine, and it lasts the full 60 seconds, and they don't touch it, it will regress 30 seconds. 15 of those seconds being Call of Brine, since Call of Brine adds an additional 100% to the 100% normal, meaning it's 200%. However, now Call of Brine does only 25% extra, meaning if you kick a gen for 60 seconds and it is not touched at all, Call of Brine will save you around 3.75 extra seconds. 3.75. What a useless number. You can bring a whole perk slot, that will save you a whole 3.75 seconds if survivors don't touch a generator for 60 entire seconds after you kicked it, which will almost never happen. It will save you, nothing, essentially. That is one of the worst perks in the game. Call of Brine was never really overpowered in the first place. Normally, people will touch a gen maybe 10 to 20 seconds after you kicked it, so it gave you maybe 5 seconds of time off, which could help, and was why it was good. 5 seconds can be the difference from someone popping a gen in your face and you knocking them off the gen to apply pop or something. But now, it's so tiny of a addition that it's useless. It's useless. Like, I have no clue what issue BHVR has with Sadako. I have no clue why she has a lullaby, no clue why they nerfed her perk. Oh wait, I do have a clue on why they nerfed her perk, and it's a standard BHVR issue. BHVR is very adamant when they do something wrong. They're the type of people that don't want to publicly admit that they did something bad. I don't know why. Like, maybe it will look bad on a PR scale for the company. I'm generally being serious here. I don't know why they don't admit it. When the entire community is able to look at something and say, this was bad, why is this here? It's just nicer when the company making it acknowledges, yeah guys, we made a mistake. We made a mistake, we're going to fix it. But BHVR doesn't do that. They'll do it with perks sometimes, but they won't do it with killers. Whether you like her, find her fun to play, or don't like her, it's an undeniable fact that the Skull Merchant is unhealthy for the game. That her gen protection is essentially unfun. 40-minute matches are unfun for survivors. You're going to have a hard time finding a survivor who likes touching gens, running away, touching it, and slowly just building up gen progress or dying. You might find like 1 or 2, maybe a couple survivors who find that fun, but the average survivor is playing survivor for chases, or for exciting matches that are not going to be a waste of their time. And Skull Merchant creates these waste of time matches rather than BHVR addressing it, making a statement like, hey guys, we realize the Skull Merchant has some issues with gen regression. We're gonna really rework her power. They did a tiny nerf. They said, oh, okay guys, so we really, Skull Merchant, some say she's a little too oppressive, so we changed her power a little bit, but the core issue is still there, because here's what I hear. You want survivors to remove your drones, to get claw traps, so you move faster. Where would a survivor remove your drone? If your drone is placed by a gen where they have to remove it or get exposed. Boom. Issue still persists. The Skull Merchant shouldn't be in the game, but she is. So we have to accept that. She's in the game. Obviously, she's not going to be taken out. So rather than do another change, rather than say, okay guys, we realize the Skull Merchant is still oppressive, we're going to really make some changes to her power, BHVR went, nope, let's double down, just like we doubled down on the twins, on the 5-6 second wake up time on the twins that everyone hates and no one finds oppressive and needed. We're going to double down on it, because God forbid we just change something that people don't like. But instead, how we're going to secretly fix this is we notice that Skull Merchant players are really getting value out of that Call of Brine. They're really pushing people off those gens for 60 seconds. So let's nerf Call of Brine. Let's punish all 31 killers, because one killer is too strong. And we've seen this before. We've seen this before with Awakened Awareness. A perfectly fine perk on 30 out of 31 of the killers. But one killer, called the Nurse, could use it really well. Too well. Way too strong on the nurse. I agree, it was way too strong on the nurse. Rather than address the nurse and be like, huh, if it's only strong on the nurse, maybe that means the nurse needs some changes. They nerfed the perk. They punished all 31 killers. I think at the time it was 30 or something. Or no, it would have been 29. Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Unimportant details. And we've seen it again. Skull Merchant. Oh, this perk is too oppressive on Skull Merchant. Rather than fix Skull Merchant, let's nerf the perk into the ground. And now Skull Merchant will be less oppressive. And now all the other killers will not be able to use this perk because it's garbage. So that is my personal belief on why Colubrine was nerfed. I think it's really sad how BHVR does this. I wish BHVR would stop. And that's going to be it. That's it for today, guys. If you disagree, please do tell me in the comments. And perhaps you can change my mind. Or at least we can have a civil discussion about it. Because I'm not against it. I'm not against some civil discussions. Maybe you're saying, like, oh, here's actually blah, 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 blah. I won't deny that Colubrine has another effect. A okay effect. It's better than a lot of killer perks. The effect being to show you when a gen's being worked on, if it's applied and someone hits a good skill check. That's not that bad. It's better than a lot of killer perks. I'll still run Colubrine in some very niche builds, but I will never run it for gen regression. If I'm looking for a perk that's going to do gen regression, I will never run Colubrine. It's completely unneeded. And that is going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed.